Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Tunga online classes. We are in the discussion of aldehydes and ketones and carboxylic acids. If you remember, in the last class, we have stopped at the discussion of nucleophilic addition reactions. In that, we have completed the different types of nucleophilic addition reactions. Some important reactions we have covered, especially the reaction of aldehydes and ketones with ammonia and its derivative is quite important, and those are very easy to. Okay, if ammonia reacts, it will form imine. If alkyl amine reacts, it will form substituted alkyl amine, which is called Schiff's base. If hydrazine reacts, it forms hydrazone. If hydroxylamine reacts, it forms oxime. If phenylhydrazine forms, it will form phenylhydrazone derivative, which is if 2,4-DNP reacts, it will form 2,4-DNP 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazone, which is actually an identification test for the aldehydes and ketones. If semicarbazide reacts, it will form semicarbazone. These are the different types of nucleophilic addition reactions, and in the today's class we are going to start about the remaining reactions of the aldehydes and ketones. Under that, we will start the class with the second type of reaction is that the reduction of aldehydes and ketones. Basically, aldehydes and ketones can be reduced into two. Either they can be reduced to reduction of aldehydes and ketones to alcohols, this is a one, or a reduction of aldehydes and ketones to hydrocarbons. There are two types of reductions. Either they can be reduced to alcohols or they can be reduced to hydrocarbons based on the reducing agent used. We will discuss the first one. What is the first one here? Reduction of aldehydes and ketones to alcohols. Right? Under this, what we have to do is that aldehydes and ketones on reduction by reagents like the first reagent we can use lithium aluminium hydrate followed by hydrolysis. Okay, lithium aluminium hydrate, or we can use sodium borohydrate, or we can use catalytic reduction in presence of nickel. Okay, we can use either of this. Okay, followed by hydrolysis. Okay, reduced to primary alcohols and secondary alcohols respectively. That means aldehyde will be reduced to primary alcohols and ketones will be reduced to secondary alcohols. If you want to see an example, let me take an aldehyde. This is an aldehyde. This aldehyde, if you are subjecting these to any reagent, lithium aluminium hydride followed by what is this? Hydrolysis. So it will be converted into, or here we have to add with the removal of here what you have to add, here you have to convert this into primary alcohol. This carbonyl group should be here. What you are doing, you are adding two hydrogens to this carbonyl group. You have to add one hydrogen to the carbon and you have to add one hydrogen to the oxygen with the removal of double bond. So that will be converted into what? Corresponding primary alcohol. The same reaction can also be carried out by, it can also be done by either instead of this lithium aluminium hydride, you can also take a sodium borohydrate followed by what is this? Hydrolysis. It will also produce the same compound, right? Or you may also take, instead of this, you may also take what is this? Catalytic hydrogenation. This is we call catalytic hydrogenation in presence of nickel catalyst. You can take any catalyst like nickel, palladium, platinum, etc. It will be converted into primary alcohol. Suppose if you are taking ketones on reduction by, you can take any one of this. Either you may take a lithium aluminium hydride followed by hydrolysis, all the reactions will be same. The extent of reactivity will be different, but the reduction will be same. It will be converted into, here also the same thing you have to do. You have to add 2 hydrogens across the carbonyl group, 1 hydrogen to the carbonyl carbon and 1 hydrogen to the carbonyl oxygen, and you have to remove the 5 bond so that you will get the corresponding alcohol. This is we call secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol. That ketones will give secondary alcohol and aldehydes will give primary alcohol. If you want to take an example, for the ketones we'll take an example of if you are taking formaldehyde on reduction by, let me take lithium aluminium hydride followed by hydrolysis, it will give methyl alcohol. What is this? This is we call formaldehyde, and what you get here, you will get methyl alcohol, you will get methyl alcohol, which is a super primary alcohol. Suppose if you are taking acetaldehyde on reduction by either of the reagent, it will be converted into ethyl alcohol. What is this? This we will call ethanol, we call it as. This is ethanol. Ethanol will be converted into ethanol. Suppose if you are taking acetone on reduction, it will be converted into isopropanol. This is we call acetone, and what it will be converted into? It will be converted into isopropanol. The simple criteria here, whenever you are reducing any aldehyde or ketone, so what you have to do during this reduction, what happens? Across the carbonyl carbon, you have to add 1 hydrogen to the carbonyl carbon and 1 hydrogen to the carbonyl oxygen, and by that you have to remove the 5 bond between the carbon and oxygen, so that you will get the corresponding alcohol. Suppose if you are taking benzaldehyde, if you reduce the benzaldehyde, you will get, what you will get? This is we call benzaldehyde. This is we call benzaldehyde. What do you get here? You will get a benzyl alcohol. You will get. This is we call benzyl alcohol. So this is the reduction of aldehydes and ketones to the corresponding primary and secondary alcohols. Right? Hope it is clear. This is a first reduction. What is this? This is the first reduction of aldehydes and ketones to the corresponding Now we will see the second one. What is the second reduction? Reduction of aldehydes and ketones to hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons means either alkanes or alkynes or any aromatic compounds, right? Here basically there are 2 types of reduction. Based on the reducing agent, we use 2 methods in this. The first one is Clemenson's reduction. The second one is that Wolff-Kishner reduction. These 2 are important for the board examination. They may be asked for the 2 marks. Wolff-Kishner's reduction, we call it as. So what is mean by this? This is a general representation of carbonyl group. Either it can be aldehyde or ketone. If you are subjecting to any one, either if you are subjecting to the Clemenson reduction, or if you are subjecting to the Wolff-Kishner, any one if you are subjecting reduction, here nothing you have to do. You have to remove this carbonyl oxygen, and in place of this you have to add 2 hydrogens. This is what you have to do here. Okay. So that carbonyl compound will be converted into aldehyde and ketone will be converted into corresponding hydrocarbon. This will be either aldehyde or ketone, and it will be converted into what? Hydrocarbon. This is what you have to do here. Hydrocarbon, we call this. Now we will see what is mean by Clemenson's and what is meant by Wolff-Kishner. The first reagent is that Clemenson's reduction. So what is meant by Clemenson's in the sense? Reduction of aldehydes and ketones by zinc amalgam. What is this? Zinc amalgam in concentrated HCl. This is we call, what is this? This is we call zinc amalgam we call it as amalgam we call it as. Zinc in mercury is called as zinc amalgam, in concentrated HCl is called as zinc amalgam. 2 hydrocarbons is known as Clemenson's reduction we call it as. So what is simple way here? Either it can be a ketone or aldehyde. If you are treating this with, what is this? Zinc in mercury, which is called as zinc amalgam in concentrated HCl, right? So what it will be converted into? It will be converted into corresponding hydrocarbon. For example, nothing you have to do, you have to remove this double bonded oxygen. In place of double bonded oxygen, you have to add 2 hydrogens, right? Suppose if you are taking formaldehyde, what is this? This is we call formaldehyde. If you are subjecting to the Clemenson's reduction, what do you get here? You will get in place of double bonded oxygen, you will get double bond 2 hydrogens. This is we call methane. Suppose if you are taking acetaldehyde, what do you get here? All that you need to do is that you have to remove this double bonded oxygen. So what you will get? CH3H. This is we call ethane. This is how you have to make a reaction, right? If you are taking acetone, suppose if you take an acetone for the example of ketone, what you will get here? You will get propane. You will get what you will get? Propane. You will get. This is we call propane. This is how you have to proceed. This particular reaction is called as what it is called? This is Clemenson's reaction. All that you need to remember is that this particular reagent you have to remember. What is this? Reduction of aldehydes and ketones by zinc amalgam in concentrated HCl to the hydrocarbons is called as Clemenson's reduction. In this particular reduction, what you have to do is that basically you have to remove the carbonyl oxygen along with the double bond. In place of that, you need to add 2 hydrogens. This is what the change has to be done in presence of either Clemenson's or Wolff-Kishner. Okay. The second reaction is that what is this? The second one we call it as Wolff-Kishner reduction we call it as. These two are important. Okay. Here the reagent is only the different. Reduction of aldehydes and ketones by hydrazine in presence of KOH and ethylene glycol. What is this? Ethylene glycol to hydrocarbons. What is this? Hydrocarbons is called as Wolff-Kishner. What happens here? Here also the same thing. This could be either aldehyde or ketone. Here what you are doing this, you are treating this with hydrogen. You are treating this. This is what we call it as hydrogen. Yesterday we have seen under the discussion of what is this elimination and nucleophilic addition and elimination reaction. What happens? Here water gets eliminated. So with the removal of water, what you get here? You will get a hydrazone. You will get what do you call this as? This is we call as hydrazone. Okay, this hydrazone on reaction with KOH in what is this? This is we call ethylene glycol. Here you will get corresponding hydrocarbon. What is this we call? Hydrocarbon, right? Simply you can also directly write this as any carbonyl group when you are treating this with phenylhydrazine followed by what is this? KOH by ethylene glycol. It will be converted into the simple reaction is this one. For example, if you are treating this with, suppose if you are taking this is as an aldehyde, acetaldehyde, in presence of this particular reagent, hydrazine followed by treatment with KOH and ethylene glycol, it will be converted into CH3H, CH and H. What is this? This is acetaldehyde acetaldehyde, and what you are getting here, this is we call ethane, you call it as, what it is, ethane. Suppose if you are taking acetone here, if you take acetone, what do you get here, this is we call propane. These two reactions are very important. Okay, that is reduction by Clemenson's as well as reaction by Wolff-Kishner. Okay, make a notes of it clearly by taking a screenshot if you want. Okay, so for the further discussion I will clear the board. Hope it is clear so far, and hope you are following. Nothing much complicated, as we are not discussing any mechanism. If we discuss mechanism, it will become a bit complicated, but as we are not going into that, it will be much easier. If you pay little attention, please try to pay some attention so that you won't miss anything, and you will try to write the product with much easiness. Right? This makes the completion of which part it is? Reduction part. The second type of reaction was reduction, and we will go for the next type of reaction, that is oxidation. The third reaction of aldehydes and ketones is that oxidation. This is also an important oxidation of aldehydes and ketones. Aldehydes and ketones. The important thing is that aldehydes and ketones generally differ in their oxidation reaction. So far all the reactions of aldehydes and ketones are being same, but here onwards there will be distinction between the aldehydes and ketones. Because of that reason, these oxidation reactions are a bit important. Okay, aldehydes are oxidized to carboxylic acids even by mild oxidizing agents such as toluenes, phthalings, along with oxidation by concentrated HNO3, okay, KMnO4, etc. Okay, that means if you subject any oxidizing agent, if aldehydes are subjected to any oxidizing agent, such as it can be, okay, on oxidation they will be simply converted into carboxylic acids. But if you are talking about the ketones are not affected by mild oxidizing agents like toluenes and phthalings. Hence, by using this you can distinguish between aldehydes and ketones. Okay, but they can be oxidized by strong oxidizing agents such as KMnO4 in basic medium under drastic condition. Drastic conditions means at high temperature and high pressure are called as drastic conditions. Okay, which involves cleavage of carbon-carbon bonds and gives mixture of carboxylic acids as product. This is a very important reaction of aldehydes and ketones. By using Tollens and Fehlings, we can distinguish the aldehydes and ketones. Aldehydes are affected by both. Fehlings and Tollens are mild oxidizing agents, so which can oxidize only aldehydes, but they cannot oxidize ketones. Since aldehydes are more reactive, they even oxidized by weak or mild oxidizing agents such as Tollens and Fehlings, but whereas ketones are less reactive than the aldehydes, so they are not affected by the mild oxidizing agents. They can be oxidized to carboxylic acid by strong oxidizing agents such as KMnO4 in basic medium at drastic conditions. Drastic conditions in the sense high temperature and high pressures are considered as drastic conditions. Suppose if you are talking about, if you are taking a ketone with a general formula RCH2CH2R prime, assume these two are different. So if you are subjecting these two oxidation by KMnO4 in basic medium, this OH minus indicates in basic medium, on heating, there are two possible ways of oxidation. Either this bond may be broken here. If this bond is broken, what are the products? You will get a RCH2 COOH plus what you will get? RCOOH you will get. This is the one possibility. Suppose if this bond is broken, what are the products? You will get a RCOOH plus R dash CH2 COOH. So this is we call mixture of, okay, what you get here, the product as basically the carboxylic acid that are obtained will be will contain a less number of carbons compared to the corresponding ketone. Okay, whereas you will get the ketone in case of aldehydes, the carboxylic acid will contain the same number of carbon as that of the aldehyde, but whereas in oxidation of ketone, the resultant carboxylic acids will contain less number of carbons when compared to the corresponding ketone. This is mixture of, what is this? This is we call mixture of acids. Notice that carboxylic acids obtained by oxidation of ketone contain less number of carbons than corresponding ketone. So this is an important reaction where we can distinguish both aldehydes and ketones from one another. Okay, now we'll see the remaining oxidation reactions, that what is mean by Tollens reaction and what is mean by Fehlings reaction. These two, Tollens and Fehlings, are very important since they can be used for the test that can distinguish both aldehydes and ketones. If Tollens and Fehlings are positive, we call them as aldehydes, and if Tollens and Fehlings are negative, we call them as ketones. They can be anything. Okay. Now first we will talk about the Tollens. Tollens test we can call it as. Why? It can be used for the distinguishing of aldehydes and ketones. Okay. Oxidation of aldehydes, or we can say reaction of aldehydes, oxidation of aldehydes by ammonical silver nitrate to carboxylic acids with the deposition of white silver mirror on the walls of test tube, is called Tollens test. What it is called? Tollens test it is called. So actually what happens? Only aldehydes will give this. So what is the general formula? This is aldehyde. When you are treating this, what is Tollens reagent? This is Tollens reagent. Ammonical silver nitrate is called as Tollens reagent. Okay. Now what you are doing here? AgNO3 NH3 taken twice, plus in actually basic medium we are doing 3 OH minus I am giving the equation that is given in the textbooks in order to avoid the confusion. This is a carboxylate ion. What is this? Carboxylate ion, and you will get the silver mirror which is deposited on the test tube, walls of the test tube, and you will get along with the formation of water, and you will get 4 moles of ammonia here. Now this whatever silver is there, suppose what is you have to do here, you have to take a aldehydic solution here. Okay, to this you have to add ammonical silver nitrate solution, and you have to heat it. On heating, what happens, this silver gets deposited on the walls of the test tube, which will give a white silver mirror which indicates the test is positive. If Tollens test is positive, okay, that will confirms the presence of aldehyde. Okay, what is mean by positive Tollens? If you get a silver mirror in the Tollens test, that indicate the presence of aldehyde. If you don't get a silver mirror, that indicates it could be a ketone. Okay, this is we call Tollens test, which is very important test in order to distinguish aldehydes from ketones. The second one is called as Fehling's test. Okay, there are two Fehling's reagent. Fehling's reagent A and Fehling's reagent B, or Fehling's reagent 1 and Fehling's reagent 2, they are called. This is nothing but alkaline, that is basic copper sulfate solution is called as Fehling's A, and potassium tartarate is called Fehling's B. This is also called as Rochelli salt. What it is called? Rochelli salt it is called. So basically what you have to do here, you have to take, okay, equal amount of Fehling's A and B, to which you have to add, to which aldehydic solution is added. Aldehydic solution is added. On heating forms red brown PPT. What it will form? Red brown precipitate it will form. Precipitate. So that confirms the, okay, presence of aldehydes. Basically what happens here, we will treat aldehydic solution with, basically it will contain copper 2 ions, okay, which is treated with in basic medium. It will be converted into carboxylic acid. This is carboxylate ion, and it is here important thing to be noted on this, here Cu+2 will be converted into Cu+1, right, along with the formation of 3 moles of water. This is the reaction. This is what we call red brown PPT. Why we are getting this red brown PPT? Because of the formation of cuprous oxide. Okay, important note is that aliphatic aldehydes gives Fehling's test, but aromatic aldehydes do not give Fehling's. Okay, but Tollens can be given by both aliphatic and aromatic. What is mean by this? Suppose if you are treating benzaldehyde is an aromatic aldehyde. This does not give Fehling's. But acetaldehyde is an aliphatic. This will give the Fehling's. But both benzaldehyde and acetaldehyde will give the Tollens. What is the importance of this Fehling's and Tollens? They are used to distinguish the aldehydes from the ketones. Okay, if any compound gives Tollens positive, that can be considered as aldehyde. Both aliphatic and aromatic aldehydes will give the Tollens, whereas aliphatic aldehydes alone gives the Fehling's. You need to remember the reagent. What is Tollens reagent? Ammonical silver nitrate is called Fehling's reagent, and this solution Fehling's A and Fehling's B, which is alkaline copper sulfate as well as potassium tartarate, are called as Fehling's reagent. It will given by aliphatic aldehydes. Okay, hope it is clear so far. Now there is another important oxidation reaction that is called haloform reaction. The important type of reaction is that this is called oxidation of alpha methyl or methyl ketones, methyl aldehydes or ketones. This is also called what it is called? It is called haloform reaction. Haloform reaction. This is called haloform reaction. Let us see what is meant by haloform reaction. Haloform reaction means that aldehydes and ketones having alpha methyl group. What is this? Alpha methyl group. Methyl group on reaction with sodium hypohalate forms sodium carboxylate and haloform. This particular reaction is called as haloform reaction. First of all, you should know what is meant by alpha methyl group. Suppose if this is carbonyl group, the adjacent carbon will be called as alpha carbon. Are you getting this? This is carbonyl carbon, the adjacent carbon is called as alpha carbon. This alpha carbon has to be a methyl group. It has to be a CH3. Aldehydes and ketones which are having alpha hydrogen on reaction with what is this? Sodium hypohalate. So this, what you have to do, this methyl group should be converted into, group should be converted into haloform. What do you call this as? Haloform. If it is chlorine, we call it as chloroform. If it is bromine, we call it as bromoform. If it is iodine, we call it as iodoform. And this rest of the group, this group will be converted into corresponding carboxylate. What is this? RC double bond O minus Na plus, here it is. This is called sodium carboxylate. Actually, this reaction can also be given in this form: RC double bond O CH3 plus NaOH plus X2. Okay, it will form RCOO Na plus NaX plus CHX3. If you want to write a balanced reaction here, right, take 2 moles of halogen, take 4 moles of sodium hydroxide, it will form 3 moles of sodium halide. Okay, so why we represent this is in the form means sodium hydroxide and reaction with X2, it will form sodium hypohalate. This is we call sodium hypohalate. For example, if you are taking acetone is having 2 alpha methyl groups. This is also alpha methyl and this is also alpha methyl. Suppose if you are subjecting these to sodium hypochlorite, here I will take sodium hypochlorite. So either of the methyl group will be converted into what? Chloroform. What is the way of writing the product? Either of the methyl. Suppose this we are assuming both are same, so you can convert any one. So first of all, you need to write this methyl group should be converted into what is this? Corresponding haloform. What is this? Chloroform we call it as. This is we call it as chloroform. So remaining, this will be converted into what? You just convert this carbonyl carbon into carboxylic group, keeping this remaining group as same. So this will be converted into, so this is we called sodium acetate. What do you call it as? Sodium acetate we call it as. Among the aldehydes, only acetaldehyde will give this particular reaction. This is a very, very important note. Apart from the acetaldehyde, no other aldehyde will give the haloform reaction. Suppose if I treat this with sodium hypoiodide. Okay, so what is the way of writing? First of all, this methyl group, there is only one methyl group, that has to be the alpha methyl. So this will be converted into what? CHI3. This is we call iodoform. This is an LOPPT. What do you get here? This is you will get an LOPPT. This is LOPPT we call it as. Whereas this is a white PPT. Okay. So here what happens? You will get a format. What do you get? This is we call sodium format. What do you call it as? This is we call sodium format. Suppose you may also take acetophenone. Acetophenone. This is what we call acetophenone. Acetophenone. Where is the methyl group? This is a methyl group, alpha methyl. So what is the way of writing? Suppose if you are taking here sodium hypoiodide. So first of all, what you get, this methyl group will be converted into what? Iodo form. You just convert this CH3 into CHI3, that is CHX3. So what you get here? This is you get iodo form. And what the rest will convert? This entire group. Keeping this constant, you need to convert this carbonyl group into carboxylic acid. So this will be converted into, to what it will be converted into? This is sodium benzoate. What do you call it as? Sodium benzoate we call it as. Okay, this is also one of the important reaction which could be useful for the identification. What is the importance of this particular reaction? It is used to identify. It is used to identify methyl ketones, acetaldehyde as well as acetaldehyde and methyl ketones. Methyl ketones. Another important note is that among the aldehydes, only acetaldehyde will give. Acetaldehyde gives iodoform test. Iodoform test. If you take any other aldehyde apart from the acetaldehyde, they won't contain an alpha methyl group. Okay. So because of the lack of alpha methyl group, they won't give. This particular reaction you might have already studied in the chapter of alcohols, because alcohols also give. Alcohols containing beta methyl group will also give the iodoform test. This is also very important reaction in terms of board. So you may get a question from this for the 2 marks. Okay. So the reagent can be given either of the form. It can be given directly NaOH, or it may be given NaOH plus X2. Okay. So you should be able to write in either of the form. Okay. I given the general equation, you should be able to apply this equation to any given question. Okay. This makes the completion of discussion of oxidation of the aldehydes and ketones. Among this oxidation, what is the important thing is that, so for whatever the reactions we have discussed before the oxidation, all of them found to be almost similar for both aldehydes and ketones, but basically we can distinguish these aldehydes and ketones based on their oxidation reactions. Aldehydes can be oxidized either by strong oxidizing agents or mild oxidizing agents to the corresponding carboxylic acids with the same number of carbons as that of the aldehyde. But whereas ketones are not oxidized by mild oxidizing agents such as toluenes and phthalings, and by using these toluenes and phthalings we can distinguish the aldehydes from the ketones. But ketones can oxidize by strong oxidizing agents such as potassium permanganate in basic medium, or potassium dichromate in acidic medium or in basic medium to the corresponding carboxylic acid with a less number of carbons as that of the corresponding ketone. Okay. And they can also be, especially the oxidation of methyl aldehydes and ketones, which is also called as haloform reaction. In this, aldehydes and ketones having an alpha methyl group, when treated with sodium hypohalate, will be converted into corresponding haloform along with the formation of sodium carboxylate. Okay. This makes the completion of discussion of about reduction as well as the oxidation reactions of both aldehydes and ketones. And I hope it is clear so far. I will stop the class here today. That's all for today. Thank you. Remaining will be continued in the next class.